channel.
Saw your picture on my timeline.
Okay, so for today's video, we are going to talk about my February reads. So I didn't read a whole lot in February. It was a very manga heavy month. I think that I am going to have to just not do a monthly TBR because I am absolutely having trouble sticking to it. So we might just go to sharing what I read in the past month. Okay, to start off, let's do the books because it is really quick. The first book that I read in February was Naughty Boss by Whitney G. I talked a little bit about this in my current vlog that's up, and it was good. Like, it was really good. It definitely wrapped up really quick and like in a nice neat little bow, which I don't mind, but it was definitely an enemies to lovers romance. It was a steamy romance. I do say so myself. But I quite enjoyed it so much as to I got the second one in the it's kind of like a novella series. I read somewhere that she wrote that while she was working on a full-length novel, and they are her steamy coffee reads, which I think that's so cute. And they're only like 120 to 150 pages. I'm currently in the middle of Cocky Doctor. I think that's the second one. The titles though, like Naughty Boss, Cocky Doctor, and the third one is escaping me, but they are on Kindle and they're only like $3. So I was like, yes. Naughty Boss is essentially about this publishing company of a boss who is naughty. He sleeps around, and he has gotten to the point where he's gotten himself into the tabloids, and his kind of like guy that kind of watches out for him, kind of like his assistant but not, he comes up to him and he says, look, you need to stay out of the tabloids and you need to cool it. So, or you're gonna make this company look really bad. So he was like, fine, I will. And he goes through assistants like crazy because either the assistants he gets are incompetent because they just want to get close to them, or something happens and they just get fired. But when we first start the story, the assistant he has doesn't do her job, and she basically admits that she just wanted to get close to him to, be with him. And so he gets fired, and he tells his like extra helper, like his like side man, he basically tells him that he needs to put out for a now hiring for the assistant position, and he's hoping that they can find someone who's actually competent and actually wants to do this job correctly. And he does, and they find this girl whose resume is just perfectly fit for this job, and she comes there and realizes how much of a butt that he is. But yet she has a little bit of a crush on him. And they end up getting into some steamy stuff, let me tell you. So yeah, it was really good. I gave it a 4 star. I didn't give it a 5 just because I mean, maybe I shouldn't have expected much more from a novella, but I was kind of like, I kind of hated how it like quickly packaged up. But again, it is a novella, so maybe I shouldn't judge it like that. But it was good. It was great. I love Whitney G's writing. Like I said, I've got the second one to read, so I'm excited about that. So then the second book that I said I was gonna read in February was Six of Crows. So far I've gotten like that, oh, you can't even see it. I've gotten like that much done in Six of Crows. I don't know why, but like my attention has not been gravitating towards this, but I am trying my best to get back into this because I promised my boyfriend I would read it with him, and I really do want to read this because I absolutely love the first trilogy. So we're still working on this, but I did want to mention that I read a little bit of this. Okay, now for the manga portion. Like I said, this month was a very manga heavy month. So I'm going to go through these and kind of talk about them a little briefly. First thing we have is Sign of Affection Volume 2. This story is so adorable, and I absolutely love the fact that we have deaf representation in a manga. Their relationship is starting to build, and he's starting to learn more on how to sign for her, and like it's just really adorable, some of the things that happen between them. So if you haven't checked this out, definitely check this out. It is so good. This is more about how their relationship grows. Then I read Volume 1 of Beauty and the Beast of Paradise Lost. I actually buddy read this with Bizarre Individual. Go check him out. I will link his channel in the description box below. I definitely like this. I had an interesting thing happen with my manga. And I tried to explain it to someone, but I'm not sure that it got through. So I'm gonna kind of show you guys, and maybe you can help me make sense of this. But you see this page right here? This page right here, okay. I get to the end of it and I get to a black page right here. Then the same section comes up again. It's the same exact section that I had. Look, this. Like, what the heck? And like, it continued on after the second part, but I just didn't understand what happened there. I don't know if I got like a misprinted copy, or if it's supposed to be like that. If you know, please let me know, because I want to know what the heck is going on. But I definitely like this one a lot. The story is about Belle, and she wants to go play out in the woods, but the woods are forbidden because her mom was actually taken by a beast who finds who they think is the most beautiful woman and takes them back. And the twisted part about this is that it really messes up Belle's father, and he is very cruel to Belle. As it explains on the back here, it says Belle's father keeps his daughter and her unusual violet hair locked away in an effort to protect her from prying eyes. So that's another thing, is that she gets made fun of because she has purple hair. She's not like all the other girls. They don't understand why she has purple hair. So that's one of the reasons why he keeps her away and protects her but it's not really in the best conditions that he does that. And so she goes, years later, it says that the beast has returned. And Belle goes back to the woods where it all began, but her desperate search for the truth may be more prevalent than she could have ever imagined. So she goes back, and some things happen. If you know the story of Beauty and the Beast, you kind of know where this is going. But I am very excited to read the next one because this one just seems a lot darker. It seems basically like a darker Beauty and the Beast, but it's almost like they didn't get rid of the elements from Beauty and the Beast because the Beast feels very, well, it's almost like they took the Beast and did him differently. Like, he's still like the Beast and he still feels like no one understands him, but he's also very cocky at the same time, I feel like. So, but yes, I definitely love this, and I loved reading it with Bizarre Individual. So, yes. The next one I have here is Sweat and Soap, Volume 7. If you have been with me for a while, you know that I absolutely love this series. These two are so precious. The relationship is so genuine, and we really get some more growth in their relationship. So he takes, Kataru takes Asaku to his, they move in together in this one, and he winds up taking Asaku to visit his parents, and it's really, really cute. She's so like nervous about meeting his family because she's so nervous about smelling and everything, but it's just, she gets through it, and it's just, I don't know, it's just so adorable. Like, I love these two. I really cannot wait to get my hands on the rest of the series because it is now finished. I would love to pick up the last 4 volumes, but my budget's not allowing it right now, but that's okay. So yes, Sweat and Soap. And then the next one I read was an absolute new favorite of mine. Like, I freaking gushed when I read this one, and that is Kiss Me at the Stroke of Midnight, Volume 1. Oh my gosh, why didn't anybody tell me about this sooner? But it is so adorable. We read this for Treat Yo Shelf, that Marg from Marg Reads Manga host, and it was so stinking cute. It's basically like a Cinderella retelling, but I just really, it is, but then it's also got that whole pop star in the real world vibe to it, and it's just so cute. This girl on the cover, Hanana, she is kind of keeps to herself, is her own little, loner, and she just, one day a famous star shows up, and she happens to run into him, and he starts to follow her around a little bit, not stalkery like, but like, I think like they kind of vibe a little bit, and they wind up starting to see more of each other, and it's just really cute because she kind of sees the way he, she kind of sees the way he is in his normal form, like not not his pop star form. I think what happens is, what happens is she goes off to the movies one day. She has a day off from school and she goes to the movies, and she happens to run into him, and he goes into the movie with her. and they come out, and then there's paparazzi coming after them. So he grabs her and runs, and she happens to break her shoe. And so what he does is he gives her his shoes. So that's kind of like the Cinderella aspect to it. But this is so cute, and I cannot wait to get the second one. I am just dying to get the second one in my hands. So yes, pick this up if this sounds remotely interesting to you. Pick it up because it is fantastic. So the next one is Promised Neverland Volume 11. So I have been chugging along this series with my friend Katie. At October 9th, I believe, is her channel on here. But I also follow her at October 2000 on her Instagram. So go check her out, say hi and such. But we are on volume 11, and this series has just been so good, so thrilling. I cannot say much about this because it is volume 11. It's a little over halfway through the series, but basically, if you haven't heard about the Promised Neverland, it is about Emma and an orphanage, from an orphanage called Gracefield. They are in this orphanage, and it seems like a normal orphanage until one day Emma and Norman, her friend Norman, follow where the so-called adopted child goes, and they find out that it's not actually going to be adopted. It's going to be taken to demons for their meal. Yes, you heard me right. Taken to demons for their meal. So basically, their orphanage is a breeding and harvesting ground for demons. So this adventure of trying to escape is just so crazy. Like, I promise that's not a spoiler. There are so many twists and turns throughout this series that you never ever know what you're gonna get in the next volume. Like, literally. I'm not kidding. So if you're hesitant about picking this up, do it because it'll be worth it. I promise. The next volume is Yakuza Lover, Volume 2. I was looking at the twos right there. I've fallen in love with this series. This series was actually recommended by Shae from Shae Geeks Out. I know I shout her out in like every video, but her taste is just phenomenal. So Yakuza Lover is essentially about a Yakuza who saves this girl from being harmed by these couple of guys. I think she's at like a party or something, and they're getting ready to harm her, and he saves her from it, and they essentially become lovers, hence in the title. But it's just so sweet, and like, it's almost like that sweet, steamy romance in a manga. It's definitely rated M for mature. So, but it's really, really good. And I'm excited to see what 3 and 4 bring, because I hear a lot more of the plot comes out soon. So, yes. And then last but certainly not least is Those Not So Sweet Boys, Volume 1. It has taken me forever to finish this. I'm so sorry, I just sneezed, so if I sound a little different, that's why. So, Those Not So Sweet Boys is actually by the same mangaka that does That Wolf Boy Is Mine. This is just so cute. It's about this girl who, she's in high school and she's working a job, and with the high school that she's in, she's not supposed to have a job. Well, one day her chairman catches her in her uniform coming out of the restaurant that she works in, and he tells her, pulls her aside, he's like, fine, I will look past the fact that you have a job if you can get these 3 boys to come back to school. And so she is tasked with that conundrum there, and it is so sweet, and I love the different kind of connections and kind of like personalities that each of the boys have. So this is definitely cute. You should pick it up. I know I think volume 4 recently came out, so I'm a little behind, but that's okay because I'm definitely going to be picking this up. But yeah, so that's all that I read. I am super duper excited to get reading this month. So far, I have started Cocky Doctor, and I'm still working on Six of Crows, and I've also almost gotten halfway through If You Come Softly. I think that's what it is. I'm sorry. And that's really good so far. So I'll be excited to explain that one to you guys. So, with that being said, I think I'm gonna wrap up this video. So y'all stay strong and